Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Huang, and this is the channel about how to immigrate to Canada under the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. And today we are going to discuss and see how to create a perfect resume, as this is the most important thing when you're applying for a job in order to get a job offer from a designated employer in Canada. So, your resume must clearly and strategically present your qualifications to get a recruiter interested in meeting you. It should convey your skills, work experience, and assets. The resume is used to describe what you can accomplish professionally in a manner that also illustrates what you can do for an employer. Job opportunities can arise unexpectedly, and updated modern resume is the key to a successful job search. Here are some do's and don'ts of how to write a good resume and what to include. First of all, keep your resume clear and concise. An employer takes an average of 30 seconds to skim a resume. You want them to see right away that you are qualified for the position. Proofread your resume numerous times. Be sure that there are no spellings or grammar mistakes. Have someone else read it over as well. A simple spelling mistake on a resume can give you a negative impression to employer. It can even prevent you from getting the job. Limit your resume to 2 pages. Place the emphasis of your resume on your most recent experience. Older jobs and experience that are more than 15 years old should be cut out or minimized. This way, the employer can focus on more relevant information. Tailor your resume to suit the position you're applying for. Specify work experience or achievements that are related to the positions you're applying to. This can be done by reviewing the job description or the employer website. Highlights what you have accomplished. You want to be able to identify the best examples of where you demonstrated your skills. These examples should speak to what you achieved in your role and should demonstrate what kind of employee you are. It's best to include this information in the work experience section of the resume. Be honest. Lying on your resume is never a good idea. You don't want to overstate your skills or results as it will mislead the employer. Have confidence in what you have to offer. Quantify your achievements. Use firm numbers that the employer will understand and be impressed by. For example, how many people you supervised, how many products you sold, by what percentage you increased sales, etc. Use simple words and action verbs. The person reading your resume might not always be the employer. Resumes can be reviewed by recruiters or human resources specialists who may not be familiar with your specific field. Use simple and plain language, but also persuasive verbs such as handled, managed, led, developed, increased, accomplished, leveraged, etc. Include unpaid work that show off your skills. If you have volunteered with a well-known organization or worked for an important cause, put in your resume. You should include these experiences under the work experience or the volunteer work section, especially if they're related to the position you're applying for. Double check and include your contact information. Your resume should list your name, address, email, and phone number. This information should be placed at the top of the first page. Also make sure this information is accurate, otherwise the employer won't be able to contact you. So these are the most important do's in writing your perfect resume. So let's move on to the don'ts, what you don't have to do while writing the perfect resume in order to apply for a job in Canada. So don't use inappropriate email. Make sure your email is easy to read, easy to type, professional, and non-offensive. In general, your email address should be based on your name. Exclude any nicknames, numbers, or special characters such as crazyboylovesgirls@gmail.com. Don't use these types of emails. Don't include unnecessary personal information. It's best to leave out any personal details such as age, weight, height, marital status, religious preference, political views, or any other personal attributes that could be controversial. This will prevent any potential bias. Most importantly, never include your social insurance number in your resume. Don't include a picture of yourself. Although in some countries it may be acceptable to include a photo, it's not the norm in Canada. It can actually lower your chances of obtaining a position and divert the whole focus of your resume. You want the employer to focus on your skills and experience, not what you look like. Don't use too many bullets. Make sure your resume is easy to read by limiting each resume section or subsection to 5 to 7 bullet points. This will make it easier for the employer to scan your resume and identify your potential. Each bullet point should be used wisely by keeping the information relevant and concise. Don't use personal pronouns. Don't use I, my, or me. Write your resume in the third person as if it's being written by someone else. Don't simply list job responsibilities. Your job duties will be obvious from your job title. Instead, highlight your achievements by putting a personal spin on your job duties and providing specific examples. Don't make general statements. Steer clear from vague statements that don't highlight your actual contribution. Unclear statements such as responsible for improving efficiencies and making cost savings doesn't provide any information to an employer. Personalize your experience. Don't include reasons for leaving previous jobs. The main purpose of your resume is to promote you, your skills, experience, and achievements. It should be entirely positive and therefore should not include reasons for leaving, as it doesn't add any value to you as a candidate. Don't include references. An employer only requires references if they're seriously considering hiring you. Keep references on a separate sheet and provide them only when they're specifically requested. And don't include hobbies or interests. It's not recommended to mention hobbies because of the judgment potential employers can make. However, if your hobbies relate to the position, you may include them as they can demonstrate to the employer why you're a good fit. So these were most important do's and don'ts in order to create a perfect resume. And now let's move on to the example. This is the example was made by me and our team. So let's move on and see how it looks like. So this resume consists of 2 pages. So this here we can see the first main page. We are taking the person Jack Peterson. Jack Peterson, he lives in this address in Halifax, Nova Scotia, his phone number, as well as his personal email. As you can see, it's jack.peterson@gmail.com. No crazy boys likes girls or something like that. The next part of the resume is summary of qualifications. Here we have couple bullet points that highlights the most important achievements or most important experiences that this person have gained during his career. So as you can see, this person has over 7 years of experience in the hospitality. He has strong background in finance, skills in marketing and guest relations. He also demonstrated ability to maximize the revenue and reduce expenses. He is good in languages. He speaks several languages such as English, Russian, French, and Chinese. And most importantly, don't forget to include the information. If you deem my qualifications and experience suitable for your position, please note that you may be eligible to hire me under the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. This information highlights and shows to your potential employer that you are applying exactly through the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, and since that employer is a designated employer and is able to hire you, so just let them know, because sometimes you get just HR person or the person who is taking care of receiving all emails and then passing to the owners or HR managers. So this person who will read the resume will have understanding that you are applying through AIPP program. Then we're moving on to the professional experience part, where you put all the information details of your work experience from the most recent to the latest one. So on this example of Jack Peterson example, he is currently working as a general manager in the Barrington Hotel in Halifax, Canada. He's been working there for almost for 2 years already, and he has made some achievements. He increased the room and F&B revenues by 200%. That's quite good for the hotel. His previous experience, he was a brand ambassador for Swiss company and then financial analyst. So these are 3 most recent experience. Let's move on to the second page and then what he will show. This is the second page. As you can see, we have on the top left corner his name, Jack Peterson, and on the right corner we have page 2 of two. So this shows that this resume consists of 2 pages only. Then continuing with his work experience, he's been working as a CFO in some country, Kazakhstan. Then he's made management training program in 4 seasons in United States. He's been working as an accountant assistant in Moscow, Russia. So basically, this was all his recent work experience in the past couple years, and this shows to the employer where he works, what are his benefits, advantages over other people. And then education. Education, again, we are inserting all the information that was recently gained to the oldest one. So as you can see, this guy made couple certificate, market research and consumer behavior certificate from the business school, Coursera. Coursera is an online platform where you can get the online certificates absolutely for free, but you must to pass all the exams. So this was the most recent um, certificate. Then we've got securing investment returns in the long run, portfolio and risk management, etc. All these certificates again were gained in the University of Geneva, again Coursera, online in 2019. And then let's move on. Probably here, this shows what was his education. He's got his bachelor in business administration in international hotel management with finance in 2016 from the business of and hotel management school, and his second bachelor degree in finance and credit from European University, which he's got in 2015. And as you remember from do's and don'ts, you don't have to put your references in your resume. Instead of it, you just write down on the bottom of your last page references and then available upon request. So this will show that all the references are available as soon as if the employer is interested in your position and he or she is ready to offer you this position. They can request all these references. So that was a not quite a short video, but that was a video about how to create a perfect resume in order to apply and to get a job offer in Canada. If you need any help in creating resumes, updating it, making it perfect and nice, we are helping out with that. We are creating all the resumes. You just send your details, all your diplomas, photos, of course, and then we gonna fit everything, all the information into the this 2 page resume. We're gonna of course fit it for you. It costs only 10 US dollars. I will insert the link where you can pay the 10 US dollars and send your email to us, and then we will start to work with you to create your perfect resume in order to get a job offer in Canada. So this was it. This was Huang, and this is the channel about how to immigrate to Canada under the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. And I'll see you in the next video.